You've noticed it, haven't you? The way the air in the room suddenly becomes heavy the moment you stop speaking. The way their eyes dart around, searching for a script that you refuse to follow. You aren't doing anything aggressive. You aren't shouting. You aren't even making a scene. You are simply sitting there, in the absolute stillness of your own presence. And yet, to those around you, your silence feels like a physical weight pressing against their chests. This is not an accident. This is not just a personality trait or a quirk of your introversion. What you are witnessing is a spiritual collision. Lately, you've felt a pull to withdraw. You felt an almost physical resistance to the small talk, the gossip, and the empty noise that used to fill your days. You walk into a room and you find that you no longer have the desire to explain yourself, to defend your choices, or to entertain people who do not see your soul. And while this silence brings you a sense of profound internal peace, it is acting as a mirror for everyone else. Have you noticed how they try to fill the void? When you go quiet, notice how the people around you begin to ramble. They start oversharing. They start nervous laughing. They might even get angry at you, accusing you of being stuck up, judgmental, or weird. They ask you, "What's wrong?" Or, "Why are you so quiet?" Even when you are perfectly fine. The truth is, nothing is wrong with you, but everything is shifting within you. Your body feels different. You might be experiencing a ringing in your ears, a high-pitched frequency that intensifies when you enter crowded spaces. You might feel a pressure behind your eyes or a tightness in your throat, as if your spirit is literally filtering the words before they can leave your mouth. You are being muted by a higher power because the version of you that used to people please is dying. You used to be the one who kept the conversation going. You were the one who made sure everyone else felt comfortable, often at the expense of your own energy. But now that social glue has dissolved, you are standing in your own sovereignty, and for the first time in your life, you are comfortable with the quiet. But they aren't. To the world, to the people still trapped in the matrix of constant noise, silence is a vacuum, and they are terrified of what might rush in to fill it. When you are silent, they are forced to hear their own thoughts. They are forced to feel their own low vibrations. They are forced to face the emptiness of their own words. You have become a walking, breathing void. And in that void, the mass of those around you begin to slip. You've seen it happen. You've watched people stumble over their lies simply because you didn't jump in to validate them. You've watched them get agitated and leave the room because they couldn't handle the frequency of your stillness. This silence is your new weapon. It is a divine boundary. It is the sound of your power returning to you. You are no longer leaking energy to people who only want to consume it. You are realizing that your words are gold, and you have stopped throwing them to the wind. If you have been feeling lonely in this silence, if you have been wondering why your presence suddenly feels too heavy for your family, your friends, or your coworkers, stay with me. This is not a social awkwardness. This is a spiritual lockdown. You are being prepared for a level of authority that requires you to master the energy of the unspoken. You are making them uncomfortable because your silence is a light that exposes the dark. And tonight, we are going to peel back the layers of why your stillness is the most terrifying thing a narcissist or a low vibrational person has ever encountered. The reason your silence feels like a thunderstorm to the world is because you are no longer operating on a human frequency. You must understand that there is a celestial mechanics behind the shift. You haven't just lost interest in talking, you have been placed under a divine gag order. The heavens have recognized that your energy is too potent to be wasted on the trivialities of the lower realms. In the spiritual hierarchy, silence is the language of the Creator. When you sit in stillness, you are vibrating at the frequency of the throne. This is why the atmosphere changes when you stop speaking. You are bringing the still, small voice of the divine into a world that thrives on chaotic static. The spiritual cause of this discomfort in others is that your silence creates a high-pressure system in a low-pressure environment. Think of it this way. The people around you are like radios tuned to a station of static, white noise, and distortion. They live in the frequency of fear, ego, and external validation. When you become silent, you stop broadcasting on their channel. You become a dead zone for their projections. Because they cannot find a hook in you, because you aren't feeding the drama or reacting to the bait, their energy has nowhere to go. It reflects back onto them. This is the spiritual law of reflection. Your silence acts as a polished mirror of pure crystalline energy. When a person filled with chaos looks at you and hears nothing, they are forced to see the chaos within themselves. It is a spiritual confrontation they never asked for. You are being taught the power of the sealed vessel. In ancient spiritual traditions, the most powerful artifacts were always kept in silence, behind veils, in the Holy of Holies. This is because energy that is contained becomes concentrated. Every time you used to explain yourself to someone who didn't care, you were leaking your life force. Every time you argued with a narcissist to make them understand, you were pouring your light into a bottomless pit. The divine has stepped in and closed the valve. You may feel a physical sensation in your throat chakra, perhaps a cooling sensation or a feeling of being blocked. Do not fear this. It is a spiritual filtration system. You are being upgraded to a state where your mere presence does the work that your words used to do. You are moving from a messenger to a frequency holder. A messenger has to speak to be heard. A frequency holder only has to exist to change the room. The spiritual cause of their discomfort is also rooted in the fact that your silence is judgment without words. To the guilty, silence feels like an indictment. To the liar, silence feels like a cross-examination. To the ego, silence is death. Because you are a chosen one, your spirit carries a specific authority. When you refuse to participate in the low vibrational chatter of the matrix, you are essentially telling the demons and the shadows in those around you that they have no jurisdiction over you. You are breaking a spiritual contract. For years, you had an unspoken agreement with the world. I will make you feel comfortable so that you will accept me. That contract has been shredded. You have entered a phase of divine sovereignty. You are now being programmed to understand that your silence is a boundary that no dark entity can cross. They are uncomfortable because they can no longer track you. In the spiritual realm, noise is a beacon. When you talk too much, when you complain, when you explain your plans, you are giving the enemy your coordinates. But when you go silent, you become invisible to the radar of the matrix. You are moving in stealth mode. This is why the people around you are panicking. Their tracking software can no longer find your soul. You have moved into the secret place of the Most High, and from that stillness, you are becoming untouchable. Stay in the quiet. Do not apologize for the void you create. It is in that void that your new strength is being forged. Watch the way they react when they realize they can no longer reach you. It is a fascinating yet disturbing display of the matrix trying to reboot itself. When a chosen one goes silent, the enemy, those walking through life as agents of chaos, narcissists, and energy vampires, enters a state of psychological and spiritual emergency. They don't just see your silence as a lack of words, they perceive it as an act of war. The first thing they will do is try to bait you. This is the probing phase. They will throw out subtle insults, accidental slights, or bring up topics they know trigger your emotions. They are fishing for a reaction. They are desperate for you to say something, anything, to prove that they still have a hook in your soul. They need you to defend yourself because the moment you defend yourself, you are descending into their mud. But when you remain still, when you look at them with those calm, observant eyes and offer nothing but a quiet "I see," it drives them into a frenzy. You will notice them starting to project. Because they cannot handle the vacuum you've created, they will fill it with their own delusions. They will start telling people that you are unstable, cold, or going through something. They have to create a narrative where you are the villain simply because you stop being their audience. The narcissist in particular views your silence as the ultimate form of ego death. They exist only through the attention of others. They are like parasites that need the host of your response to feel alive. When you cut off the supply of your words, you are effectively starving the demon that feeds through them. Notice the physical agitation in their bodies. When you are silent, the people around you will start fidgeting. They will check their phones every 10 seconds. They will start talking faster and louder. This is because your silence is vibrating at a frequency that is literally painful to their lower nature. It is like playing a high-frequency pitch that only a certain kind of animal can hear. To the world, you are just being quiet, but to the entities operating through these people, you are sounding a trumpet of exorcism. You are commanding the room without opening your mouth, and they hate you for it because they cannot control what they cannot engage. Then comes the smear campaign. When the enemy realizes they can't get a reaction out of you, they will try to get a reaction out of everyone else about you. They will go to your friends, your family, or your coworkers and say, "Have you noticed how weird they're acting lately?" They are trying to build a cage of social pressure to force you back into your old, talkative, people-pleasing self. They want you to feel so isolated that you'll break your silence just to belong again. But they don't realize that you've already found a new place to belong. You found a home in the stillness. The most dangerous part of their reaction is the fear. Deep down, they are terrified of your silence because it signals that you are no longer predictable. In the Matrix, if they know what you think and how you feel, they can control your future. But a silent chosen one is a wild card. They don't know if you're planning your exit, if you're manifesting a new life, or if you've finally seen through their lies. Your silence makes you a mystery, and the enemy cannot stand a mystery. They need you transparent so they can exploit you. You have reclaimed the high ground. From this vantage point of stillness, you can see their moves before they make them. You are watching them unravel while you remain perfectly composed. They are exhausted from trying to stir you up, while you are being recharged by your own internal peace. Do not give in to the urge to explain why you are being quiet. That is a trap. The moment you explain your silence, you have broken its power. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them squirm. Let them wonder. Their reaction is the confirmation that your light is finally too bright for them to handle. The truth that the world tries to hide from you is that silence is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of God. We live in a realm that is fundamentally built on vibration. In the beginning, there was the Word, but before the Word, there was the primordial silence of the Creator. When you enter this deep stillness, you are returning to the first frequency. You are tapping into the blueprint of creation itself. The reason your silence carries such an unsettling weight is that you have access to divine law, the law of potentiality. In physics, potential energy is the energy stored within an object, waiting to be released. When you speak, you are releasing energy. When you are silent, you are accumulating it. The truth that makes the matrix tremble is that a chosen one in silence is a concentrated vessel of raw divine power. You are a spiritual battery that is finally reaching a full charge. The world is terrified of you because they know that when you do eventually choose to speak, your words will have the power to manifest reality, to tear down strongholds, and to shift the very foundations of their false kingdom. This is the prophecy for your life. You are transitioning from the outer court to the inner chamber. Most people live their entire lives in the outer court, the place of noise, sacrifice, and public performance. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. But you have been called into the Holy of Holies. In this sacred space, the only language is silence because words are too clumsy to describe the glory of what you are becoming. You must understand the metaphysical mechanics of what is happening. Your silence is creating a vacuum effect. In the universe, nature abhors a vacuum. When you stop speaking, the universe begins to rush into the space you've created. This is why things are starting to happen for you without you having to struggle. Opportunities are appearing. People are being removed from your life. Secrets are being revealed. It is because you have stopped trying to manipulate the world with your tongue and have started commanding the world with your frequency. The enemy understands this better than most believers do. They know that a person who cannot be baited into an argument is a person who cannot be conquered. They know that your silence is a sign that you have achieved internal alchemy. You have turned your leaden trauma into golden wisdom. You are no longer looking for answers outside of yourself because you have realized that the kingdom of heaven is within you. And that kingdom is a kingdom of profound, unshakable peace. The deep truth is that your silence is a form of spiritual exorcism. You are casting out the demons of other people's expectations. You are exercising the need for external validation. You are standing in the truth that you are enough, exactly as you are, without saying a single word to justify your existence. The world calls this arrogance or weirdness, but the divine calls it consecration. You are being set apart. You are being prepared for a move that will require absolute focus. Think of a predator in the wild. The lion does not roar while it is stalking its prey. It is silent. It is calculated. It is focused. The roar only comes at the moment of victory. You are in the stalking phase of your destiny. You are observing the patterns. You are seeing the traps. You are gathering the intel. The divine is telling you, be still and know that I am God. Your silence is the ultimate act of faith. It is you saying to the universe, I trust you to defend me. I trust you to provide for me. I don't need to scream to be heard by the Father. This is the power that moved mountains. This is the frequency that parted the Red Sea. It wasn't the noise of the crowd. It was the focused, silent intent of the chosen. You are reclaiming that ancient authority today. Now the time has come to seal this frequency within your spirit. You are no longer the person who fears the awkward pause or the cold shoulder. From this moment forward, you embrace your silence as your royal garment. You are moving into a state of divine observation. Your task is simple. When the world tries to provoke you, look at it with the eyes of the Spirit and say nothing. Let the silence do the work. Let the frequency handle the fight. Take a deep breath and feel the weight of your own presence settling into your bones. Feel the heat in your hands and the stillness in your mind. You are becoming a mountain, unmoved by the wind, untouched by the storm. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your heart, or speak them aloud to command the atmosphere around you. I reclaim my power from the mouths of the mockers. I withdraw my energy from the tables of the ungrateful. I am a sealed vessel of divine light, and my silence is my shield. I do not need to explain what God is doing in my life. I do not need to defend my crown to those who dwell in the dust. I am invisible to the trackers of the matrix. I am hidden in the secret place of the Most High. From this day forward, my words are seeds, and I will not scatter them on rocky ground. I am comfortable in my stillness, for in the silence I hear the voice of my Creator clearly. I am protected. I am sovereign. I am enough. Let us pray. Divine Creator, Architect of the silence, I lift up the chosen one who is listening to this message. I thank you for the gag order you have placed upon their spirit, for it is a sign of their promotion. I ask that you strengthen their resolve when the wolves howl for a reaction. When the narcissists bait them, give them the cool composure of a king. When the family mocks their quietness, give them the peace of a queen. I pray that you fill the vacuum of their silence with your glory. As they stop speaking to the world, speak to them. Reveal the secrets of their destiny. Show them the blueprints for their abundance. Protect their throat chakra from the psychic attacks of those who wish to drain them. Surround them with a hedge of fire that allows no low vibrational frequency to enter their field. Seal this activation. Let their silence become a magnet for miracles. Let it be a wall against the enemy and a bridge to the divine. It is done. It is finished. It is so. Chosen one, you have entered the era of the unspoken power. Do not be afraid of the discomfort you cause in others. Their discomfort is simply their darkness reacting to your light. Keep your head high and your mouth closed until the Spirit gives you the command to roar. Until then, walk in the majesty of your stillness. If you felt this shift today, if you are ready to walk in this new authority, I want you to go to the comments right now and type, "My silence is my power." Claim it. Let the universe see that you have accepted your new frequency. Subscribe to this channel to stay aligned with the higher calling. Your journey is just beginning, and the silence is where your new world is being born. I see you. I honor you. I love you. Stay in the light.